Hi, it's Mr. Dix. It's nearly Easter, so let's now make an amazing, easy chocolate cake. First thing you need to do is to grease the tins, a little bit of butter, a bit of oil, and then what you want to then do is get some greaseproof paper in the bottom just to make sure they actually come out. The way to do this, as you can see, is fold it in half one way, then fold it in half the other way, and then make like a dart with it, and then the point of that little dart you made goes in the very middle of the tin, just roughly where the edge is. Just tear it off, and there we go. You should have a nice round of greaseproof paper. Perfect. No scissors needed at all, and then make sure that's all nice and pushed into the corners. Right, so the next thing is to make the ganache. Now, ganache is a chocolate and cream mixture. So I've got dark chocolate here and some double cream. You literally put both together, but trouble getting the lid off, and then you pour that into the saucepan and you melt the two together really gently. It should look like that as it starts to melt, just over a medium to low heat, and as you stir it will all melt and it will go all nice and glossy like that. Now to make the cake itself, all the ingredients will be on YouTube, but literally just some flour, we got some eggs, and then we have some sugar. I actually use white and some golden caster, some cocoa powder, as you can see there. I think got oil, and notice there's no butter in this at all, so that actually means it's a much lighter cake. Butter makes a cake quite heavy, oil makes it lighter. That's some milk I've added, and now I'm going to add two things. So one is baking powder, so a teaspoon and a half of baking powder, and then the next thing's going to be some bicarb of soda. The point of these is actually a raising agent, and it helps the cake puff up, and you would of course need a little bit of vanilla to go in, so a couple of teaspoons of that as well. So once it goes in, you want to get your whisk out and you want to give it a really good whisk just to kind of combine everything. Now this is where it becomes a little bit unusual. You go to the kettle and you boil the kettle, all right? And we want some hot water in a jug, and as you see, if I sped it up, you will notice that the mixture is extremely wet, all right? It looks bad, it's absolutely right. It's not like a normal cake mixture. This is a very wet cake mixture. So we then put it into a nice low oven. It's about 160, about gas mark 4 or 5. For about 25, 30, 35 minutes. Let everything cool down, absolutely vital. Right, you must let it cool down. Notice how the ganache is all nice and thick. Don't put the ganache in the fridge, that's a bad move, just leave it on the side. Right, we're going to compile it, bit in the middle, all the rest on the top. See if you notice the mistake on the transition. Okay, so there we go, that's all nicely done, and look at that, how amazing. A lovely, moist, delicious chocolatey chocolate cake. Enjoy.